Okay.
Are we ready to rock?
Yes. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Alicia Denea, and I'm the owner and founder of Hatha Holistic Integrative Wellness and also Healing Space Solutions. And as you all know, I've been doing a series on storytelling, digital marketing, and branding. And so this is my fourth interview. We have Justin Randall of Gigantazon, Randall Writes, and soon the Biz Crew. So tell us more about who you are and what you do and so forth.
Yeah. So actually, Missy and I met when we were in the Optima Business Boot Camp, and I was starting Gigantazon, which was basically...
Shout out to Ronnie.
Much love, right?
Much love to Ronnie of Optima.
Interesting. I saw April and Malcolm yesterday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Is Malcolm back?
No, he's in Sacramento.
Okay.
So, but he's going to be going back to Portland anyway. And basically, Gigantazon was a website for a new way of chatting, right? Of holding conversations and co-creating solutions. And it didn't really go anywhere. So now I'm working on Randall Writes Writing Services, where I do a lot of resumes, I do content creation, editing, I help people with, it doesn't matter, academics, business, like you name it, and I'll help people out. And I'm about to enter a partnership with a friend of mine who has been in marketing and branding for almost 20 years, going on 20 years. And we're going to be starting a business called the Biz Crew, which is just basically helping people if they need to rebrand, if they need to kind of find their footing, start setting up profiles, generating content, marketing, copywriting, just, public PR releases and things like that. And so, so I'm excited about both of those things. They work well together.
Good. So can you tell me more about what I like about what we learned in Optima and just in general, like the local economy and small business owners or medium business owners or just people who are entrepreneurs, if they were looking for the services you offered and they approach you, like what would be some of the ways that you'd be really excited about helping some of the people looking to rebrand and so forth? Or do you have any tips about rebranding?
Yeah, so I kind of take everything through the same lens, which is that we already know what we want to do, right? Like a lot of times you just kind of need an excuse to be able to do it, but there's also a real lack of people knowing how to present that message. And so that's what I want to help people with is how do you package it? How do you get it out into the world? What's your communication strategy? How are you going to... some people have a natural knack at it, right? They tweet on the daily and they build up these empires where they're known as YouTubers and Facebook Livers and all this, and people keep checking them out and they buy ads and all those kinds of things. Not everybody has that, and so how do we make a concise messaging track, if you will, where we can schedule things out and then they can start to generate a book of business or even just a library so that they can say, hey, you sought after me, here's what my opinion is on these different subjects. And then that really creates them as being a subject matter expert. And once you have that basis, then you're already creating value for people because they recognize that you know what you're talking about, and so then they're going to start to seek you out more.
So also with the Randall Writes business piece that you have, how could you help people out with digital marketing or their newsletter or their blog or their website? Like what are ways that you like to help people in that?
Yeah, so everything that you're talking about, like a lot of Randall Writes is just content creation, right? Where it's like somebody's like, hey, help me edit this blog or something like that. Really simple and easy. But the Biz Crew, that's where we're gonna really start generating that. And so it starts with an honest conversation about what's the message that you want to convey? What is the image that you want to present to the world, right? And so we kind of start there, and then the next level is going to be let's lay out a communication strategy. And I think that it's important that people don't reinvent themselves in this process. You are who you are. Like, let's play to your strengths and let's elevate those so that they can really come across to the people. And so, but and then it might require some homework of like, okay, listen, I need you to write. Give me a bullet list. I can put all the gloss and everything around it, but you give me the meat and the bones of it, and then we can make that happen and draw it out. You know, for a lot of relaunching and rebranding, you know, that has to do more with what one's website currently looks like. Mm-hmm. And so you're not just putting lipstick on a pig, but you might be fundamentally changing things from a logo to the name to maybe even how a business operates, you know, like how is it going to make money, all these different kinds of things. And that's what we have to think through. You know, when people come to me, it's because they already have like an inkling of what they want to do. Mm-hmm. And so in having a conversation with me, I want to draw that out of them and then make it more concise so that they get excited about it. And then I can just help them to convey that message.
That sounds great. I just have a couple more questions about, so I like everything that you just said about like rebranding and relaunching. And I'm also wondering, what is it like to think about, you said communication strategy, but do you have any points around or any tidbits or tips around growth strategy? Because I think a lot of that is like what some people are, for me, that's what I'm concerned about. I'm like, okay, well, I know this is what I can do. This is where my threshold is. But if I'm envisioning creating more awareness around who I am outside of the Bay Area, like what would that look like? Or what kind of tips would you have for somebody that had that?
You're hitting two different audiences, really. Like, you know, they say, think globally, act locally. Mm-hmm. Like, really, I think that if your initial audience is going to be local, then it's how do you expand beyond that reach? Mm-hmm. And so if you can establish yourself as some sort of a person of notoriety or celebrity or whatever that is here, then you can start to look at how that's going to lay out in other demographics. Now that we have so much that's happening online, it's a lot easier to do. This is a great way to do it, right? Like, and it's just expanding your audience of getting that passed out. So the real sense of it is creating value for people and expanding that to others, right? Mm-hmm. So what is it that you're doing within the local organizations that they can be like, oh wow, this is changing us. This is fundamentally improving our work life, our like whatever it might be, right? Just flipping a switch in their mind so that they can help that out. Well, then that's going to generate more business, and it might just generate business here, but shoot, like it can expand beyond that as well. And you never know. Like sometimes, you know, something that you do resonates maybe with a completely different people group, a different nation. You know, and with the internet, the capability that we have, you're gonna meander through those lines of what the market tells you, and then you're gonna play to that as well.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Thank you. So that was a lot packed in like the last 5-10 minutes. I guess we can close with like, do you have any specials or do you want to share people with your website or anything?
Yeah, I think
so they can find you.
Reach out, send me an email, justin@randallwrites.com, and then just write in there Hatha Holistics, and then I will be glad to extend a discount. So,
okay, how do you spell Randall?
Randall.
Okay, you know what? You have the same name as Justin Timberlake. Okay. I was like Googling your name. I was like, they have the same name. Oh my God. Because it's Justin Randall Timberlake. And of course you're Justin Randall. Right. And that's awesome. Okay, everybody. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Take care. All right. Finish.